Hello and welcome to Reality Recapped, where I recap all of the trashiest reality shows. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Heather. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, and it's through that lens that I watch these shows and make my comments. Of course, I have not met with any of the people on this show, so everything that I state is simply an opinion. My channel is a little bit of education and a whole lot of snark. This week, I'm going to be recapping Sister Wives Season 2, Episode 4, Carving into Polygamy.
I believed in living this lifestyle. It just makes each of us better.
I expected there would be other wives. I think there's room for everybody.
I like sister wives. I wanted the family. I didn't just want the men.
The wives work together. I want to be a part of that team.
Love should be multiplied, not divided.
In this episode, we're going to see Robin come up organically, at least it appears so, with her new tagline. So wait for that. That happens toward the end. But first, let's get started and get caught up with the family. They've been under investigation, and Kody says,
We don't know what's going on, so we've got that weight on us all the time, but we're trying to protect our kids from it. So we make life go on as normal, and so we're celebrating Halloween.
I always took this investigation seriously and potentially could face charges. Whenever I've responded to this, I respond to it in a way that, how would I feel if I was under investigation? It would be awful, be stressful. Even if I didn't do anything wrong, just the weight of that would be stressful. I've had commenters say they were never, ever actually worried about any of this. And this was just something that was done for the show. I agree that it would increase viewership and interest. If you're also wondering what the outcome is going to be, if they are going to face legal ramifications for coming out as polygamists while it's illegal. So I can see them taking this nugget, especially the producers, and using it as a way to generate more interest in this show. But also, the police don't investigate things to help a show's ratings. And that's all taxpayer dollars that are being spent to investigate something. So I think there is legitimacy to that. But I don't know. I can see both sides. So if you have a strong opinion, one side or the other, let me know in the comments. I also, if you have articles to link to, that's always really helpful, because sometimes we forget kind of the information that was happening around the time. And so it's nice to have articles to go back to that kind of point out what the vibe was during that time. Things have changed a lot. I mean, we're 13 years later, and things have changed a lot. There's a lot of different laws in place and a little bit more, I think, less judgment about people and how they choose to live their lives, which is fantastic. So it's hard to look back with the same lens that the general population had at the time, and walk away with a correct vantage point.
Not at our house.
Hey kids, can we see how quiet we can get it in here?
Okay. I had totally forgotten about this, but I used to work for the YMCA when I was a teenager, and I was a day camp counselor. And one of the counselors came up with this, he called it the quiet game. The goal of this game was essentially what Robin's saying: try to be as quiet as you possibly can. It was a competition, and the kids would ask to play it, which I thought was bizarre, because clearly it's just like this way of like making all the kids quiet. It just cracks me up that Robin's doing it. His kids love to play it. I never had my kids play it because I feel like they're kids. They're there to burn off their energy, not to play the quiet game.
We're going to go to the park and have pizza at the park, play at the park, and then afterwards we're actually going to go to Evan's family farm and pick out pumpkins out of a pumpkin patch.
Whoa, it sounds like you've got a really action-packed day. No wonder why you don't have the time to take your glasses off when you come inside.
If you're not in a car that's leaving, then you're not getting there, okay?
Whoa, the kids can't just teleport themselves to wherever they want to go? Surprising statement. Okay.
We have a football. Is there anything else you want to bring? Hey, Mariah, do you want to drive my car?
Right, Mariah gets to drive the sports car. The funny thing that happens here is whomever that child is that's getting in the car, as soon as he hears Kody ask Mariah if she wants to drive, he leaves the car. He's like, I'm not taking a risk. So Mariah gets to drive her dad's real cool sports car. Unfortunately, Logan gets stuck with the Toyota Corolla. But I think Logan has accepted his fate as the most responsible kid who's expected to act more like a parent and not a child.
Kody, you have to remind her to look both ways. I can't believe we have kids old enough to get their licenses.
That's what I keep thinking.
Right, you have to look out the back when you're doing this.
I feel for Mariah because you know how it is when you first learn how to drive. You're so nervous. And then Kody, on top of that, makes anyone nervous and stresses anybody out. And then on top of that, you've got a whole freaking camera crew recording you as you're driving. Yikes.
Just do it.
All right, let's go. Where are you going? We're going over there. Pull up quickly.
Not even driving. My heart rate's already up. I'm not even in this car. I think out of everybody, he's the worst. Could she try to drive with Logan? I think he would probably do a really good job instructing her how to drive and not stressing her out.
All right, sit back.
I don't know where we're going.
And a little bit more, and you're good. Perfect.
I don't know about the parking laws in Utah, but I'm pretty sure she is too far from the curb, right? I mean, that potentially could get a citation. But I also don't live in Utah, so I don't know.
We almost never do pizza. It's expensive, but it's a very fast meal. It's very easy. As the convenience of doing that at the park, you know, is sometimes it's just fun to splurge and do things like that.
Gwen Brown said on her YouTube recap channel that whenever they went on trips and they were being filmed, the television show paid for their vacations. And I wonder, is that why they're having pizza in a park? I mean, that's a huge selection of pizzas for one. And the second is, think about having little teeny tiny kids, and they do, and needing to have their hands washed. And where are they going to go to the bathroom? And they're not going back home after this. They're going to a pumpkin park. Like, it just seems like a lot more work to just eat in the middle of a park when you could just do that at your house. But I don't know. I'm probably overthinking.
The pumpkin patch right now. You get going.
Is Kody doing a Chris Farley impression? Doesn't it seem like he's kind of doing the van down by the river? He's at least doing the movements.
No, she's riding with you.
Yeah,
she's driving your car.
I'd rather drive yours.
So Mariah finds him stressful as well.
You need to get in the back.
I'm not ready for this.
I'm really good though.
As long as she remembers to look both ways before we turn.
After the park, we all went over to Evan's family farm, where everybody was gonna pick out a pumpkin.
There was all this stuff to
Not
do.
just the kids. Did you see you?
She's all, where there's kids, and then suddenly there's Mary jumping up and down on the trampoline.
I don't know what it is.
I appreciate the fact that Mary is playful and will kind of become kind of like a kid, you know, jumping around and having a great time. Her personality seems to be very perfectionistic and very tightly wound. So it's really nice to see her unleashing and kind of having more of a playful side and being comfortable enough to show that around everybody else. I would also think the kids would respond to that really well too, having an adult playing with them. I think kids tend to like that a lot too.
Come on, let's go get a pumpkin. Aspen, Madison, come on, let's go, come on.
You know, and even the field was big. There was plenty of space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Go have fun.
Amazed. They're like, do we get to walk all over? I'm like, yeah, there's acres. Go look. Find your perfect pumpkin.
Hey girls, I found a big pumpkin. It's right here. This is mine.
All the kids got to pick out their own pumpkin that we were going to carve later. I mean, that was kind of a cool thing for the little kids because some of them never carved a pumpkin before.
I'm a little surprised some of the younger ones have never carved a pumpkin, but it also, I don't know, pumpkins are expensive nowadays. Like, it's surprising how much that costs. And if you have a large family, I could see them not wanting to spend the money. I wonder if there was some arrangement with this farm and that's why they were able to take so many pumpkins. So they have a national platform advertising that they sell pumpkins on their farm and they have all these activities. And I could see them exchanging that for, here you go, take a bunch of pumpkins. So maybe that's why they never carved pumpkins before, was like the sheer expense of it.
Specific things what they wanted. Some wanted really cute and small and round. Some wanted the biggest, hugest, honkingest thing they could find. And they were all so specific on exactly what they wanted. That was so cute.
How they carried this to the end.
I was looking for a pumpkin that was like big and plump, and like really orange. That's only on the commercials. It's not really like that. They're usually green or have bruises on them.
Garrison looks to be about 11 or 12 here. And this is just a me thing, but I find it so comical when kids kind of learn about the world and they go through like this developmental phase where they're like aware that there's like propaganda stuff out there, and they like he's saying like, yeah, those orange pumpkins, those aren't even real. They're like green and they're bruised. It's like he becomes kind of jaded by the world and wants other people to know that like he doesn't fall for that pumpkin propaganda. And we all go through this phase. It's just, I don't know why. I think I love it when people are like more critical. And so when I see that in a kid, I'm like, that guy's going to be away. He's not going to buy Bitcoin. Cryptocurrency is not something Garrison is going to invest in, nor promote.
I might keep that one just because it's cute and little and different.
Pick it up and then put it in my Never mind. Take it.
Holy cow, how many pumpkins does one family need?
Well, we got 18. I think we need, what do we need, 24 of them?
This is overkill, I tell you.
Wait, how many do you think we got? Like
21 plus 3 is 24.
24. We got like
27.
We got like 27.
I agree with him. It does seem like overkill. Why are you getting 27 if you don't need 27? And again, this goes back to they're not paying for any of the pumpkins. That's why they're getting so many.
I'm suggesting you not move that.
We need to take him down there.
Come on, show us your strong womanhood.
Like he thinks I can't do a wheelbarrow. It's in the ditch. Help me out of the ditch. Go Mary. He was thinking that I couldn't carry the wheelbarrow for some reason. I handled it perfectly fine. Perfectly fine, my dear.
Good job, you rock.
I suspect Kody has very traditional ideas about what women can do and what men can do. And I also think while he doesn't talk about his insecurities, he's constantly talking about being the man of the house or being manly. That seems to be a common thing that they discuss in their family. And I think it comes up because there's insecurity on his side. A wheelbarrow was literally invented so you can carry really heavy loads and not need a lot of strength. That's the whole point of a wheelbarrow. So the fact that Mary can do it shouldn't surprise anybody, right? We understand wheelbarrows and why they were invented and what their use is. But I think if you're a person that has a very narrow box that you're able to fill as a man, and one of those things is being quote unquote strong, i.e. able to lift things and move things, and then you see your wife going and doing that, I wonder if in him it creates like this subconscious anxiety. Why are these women even with me? And I don't think that's something he would ever admit to himself, but I think that's the undercurrent. And I think that's why he's constantly talking about manliness and things like that. But also just a theory.
Mary does not like to dilly-dally. She likes to take the initiative.
Mary's not the leader because she's the first wife. It's just her personality.
Yeah, she's just one to just like,
She's dominant.
let's just do it.
And that's a trait that I think would be really valuable in a huge family because there is so much work to go around. She could be someone who's constantly on task and attacking things and getting things done, and there's still a million other things to do. So if I had to pick a family structure like this one, I would definitely want at least a couple of Marys in it, except she's really bossy, and that doesn't go so well. I like the collaborative, like, let's get the job done, let's all work together. I don't like the micromanaging and like the control that some people also need to have, and that I suspect Mary likes control, and that would be the hardest aspect of her personality to deal with. But man, she really does get things done, and she is efficient.
Because the Browns, you got to go big or go home, you know?
Yeah.
Man, that is a lot of waste too. I mean, it's a waste when it's just one kid who's carving a pumpkin, but like think about how much food that actually is. So I wonder whose house they're in right now, because are you guys noticing it looks like a restaurant booth in their home? And I've never seen that before, and I don't know if I've seen it since. But isn't that interesting? Like, why do you have a booth in your house? Did a restaurant go out nearby? Anyway, this is the benefit of having to take screenshots of everything and watching this multiple times. I would never have noticed that otherwise. Anyone know whose house this is, by the way?
It's Halloween, and we're gonna carve pumpkins, and we're gonna dress up, and we're gonna take the kids trick or treating, and we're gonna have a blast today.
A happy day.
Halloween's my favorite holiday.
Is it really?
Yes, I love Halloween. Yes.
I think I also really like Halloween. I think it's probably, out of all of the holidays, it's probably my favorite. I mean, candy, right? What could be better than a bunch of candy and getting to dress up and being silly?
Hey, I need help getting pumpkins, please.
Logan is on dad duty, even though his dad is technically there. Kody, however, is much more focused on his costume. And I'm going to play a little exchange he's going to have with Robin. Tell me what age it seems like he is when he's talking to her.
Hey, Robin, do we have any red stuff for the hair?
No. Do we need some?
Well, I'm going to Sammy Hagar.
You want red? Sammy hairspray?
Sammy.
Red hairspray.
Just light, real light.
To me, Kody sounds like he's like about 13 to 14 having this conversation with her. And it's so funny because we rarely see Robin showing kind of annoyance or like having to like kind of get Kody's attention. She seems very light in this scene. She's very playful. She seems really relaxed and does not seem to have a guard up.
On Halloween afternoon, we needed to get all the stuff for the costumes for the kids ready and get all the pumpkins carved before trick-or-treaters started to show up.
For the 4 women for Halloween are going to be the 4 elements: earth, wind, water, and fire.
And we think Kody should be the avatar, but he's saying no.
Avatar, well, okay, the avatar controls the elements. He doesn't control us.
He might like to think he does.
Again, they're kind of laughing about like the control thing. He doesn't control us, but he wants to pretend he does, blah, 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 blah. And it's like this lighthearted thing. And I think it's addressing the concerns that the viewers have about this show. But I also think it's part of their family banter. I do think this is like a topic that gets tossed around a little bit. And when people joke, usually there's more stuff underneath that. People want to pretend like, no, we're just joking and this is lighthearted. Joking can be a way of kind of expressing things in a lighthearted way, but it can also inform you of more serious topics that are bubbling underneath the surface.
Wives nerd talk. Nerd.
I love this side of Robin. Like, she's really light. She's really having a great time. She doesn't seem guarded at all. We rarely see this side of her. And I'm assuming that I do think Robin is very manipulative. And what probably happened was she kind of did stuff behind the scenes. The other wives responded to her, rightfully so, with frustration or pushback. And so then she became more and more guarded, because this side of her isn't a side that we get to see very often.
All right, hey, you're gonna put all the gunk, the brain stuff out of these pumpkins into these buckets, okay?
Again, Logan is being dad. Where the heck is Kody? What is Kody doing? Why isn't he doing this? This is Kody's responsibility, I feel like. And Logan is stepping in because there's a space there. I don't know that Logan wants to be in this position. I think he feels compelled to be in this position because he knows that there's a need there, that there's a void there. It would be very interesting to talk to him as an adult and ask him about all of that and whether he's kind of delved into that at all. Because I know I would feel, I love kids. I always have loved kids. I've always babysat kids. If I had younger siblings, I know I would probably be very similar to Logan, but I also would have probably a lot of resentment because everybody should have their own childhood. It shouldn't be taken from you to take care of your younger siblings. When your parents are literally there, Kody is there. He is on the premises. He's just not stepping up into the role that he has chosen for himself, which is to be a father. Also, what the heck is behind literally a fajita cantina closed down, and they were like, we're going to get the booth, we're going to get the sign. That sign is really cool. It's just weird that they have it. We could do like an Easter egg hunt through these episodes of like, what other restaurant equipment does the family have in the house? That's so funny. I do like signage and stuff like that, and I do like antiquing, so I can see the appeal. I wouldn't want a booth in my house because it just doesn't seem practical, but I don't know, maybe it's great. What do I know? Why aren't restaurants closing down in my area? Just kidding, not hoping for that at all.
Dave was the first one to cut off. There we go.
Hey.
Yeah, let me see that. Make this one. Oh.
Wow.
Okay, who else needs help with the cutting out?
I need someone to do my pumpkin.
Now you gotta stick your hand in there. Dig it all out.
Do it every
Pumpkin carving was really messy fun, but really, really messy.
I feel like this screenshot paints an image of the family dynamic because all the kids are kind of working on their pumpkins. Logan is making sure, everybody's putting the guts in the buckets that he probably collected from the garage. And Kody is there. And is Kody helping anybody else? No, he is demanding attention himself. Janelle is turned and she looks kind of annoyed with him, like she's trying to reason with him. And he's got his arms crossed and he's just, doing his own thing. It's like if Kody is there, he's getting attention for himself. He's not giving out attention to his children or anybody else, which is very fitting for a narcissist. But I just wanted to point that out.
Not doing a pumpkin fight.
Yeah, we are. Pumpkin fight!
Far too many children.
There's a lot of kids, but I don't really look at it as some sort of overwhelming responsibility or something. I just look at it as they're my kids and I'm gonna love them, and then I'm surprised at their capacity, I guess, having another mom come in and boss them around and stuff. So
I love kids, they're fantastic, but there is no way that this isn't completely overwhelming. Having just a couple of kids is a lot. I can't imagine having this many and not feeling overwhelmed a lot of the time. I think what has happened is I think people are able to vocalize a little bit more about the challenge of having kids and raising kids. People can acknowledge now how draining it can feel to be around kids all day, how exhausting it can feel. And that doesn't take away the love that you have for your children. It doesn't mean that you're not a good parent. It doesn't have all the negative implications that I think used to get attached to being real about how hard it is to be a parent. So I think we're seeing here maybe just a shift in how people talk about having kids. And again, just because being a parent is hard, it doesn't mean that you don't enjoy it. It doesn't mean that it's not fulfilling, but it's talking about the full picture of being a parent and not just like the rosy aspects of it.
it's a lot of fun. It's really rewarding.
What was it, like 30 some odd pumpkins with goop all over there?
I don't want to. No, guy, the police guy just came by. Oh, yes.
Why?
Accidental call.
Yeah, somebody called the police on accident.
Huh, I wonder who did that.
I'm afraid I might have butt dialed 911. Weird, huh?
It's almost like you're on a television show and you're talking about your fear of the police and the police are not bothering you, so then you butt dial them. Notice that they don't have any footage of the police actually coming out to the house. This is interesting. So to butt dial, let's think about how that happens. Usually, whomever you spoke to the last time gets called again. That's usually how that happens, right? It is an emergency number, so maybe his phone is set up differently. What do you guys think? Do you think this was Kody trying to drum up a little bit more drama for the show? And potentially the cameras could have filmed the police car coming to the house. And that would have been really interesting to see in teasers, right? Oh no, the police are coming over. What's going on? But notice there's no footage of the police coming to the house. And does anybody else wonder, is this what Janelle was irritated with Kody about? Did he say to Janelle, hey, I've got an idea to kind of make this a little bit more interesting. I mean, pumpkins are great, but police are going to get viewers.
Because of the investigation, the announcement of the investigation, it's changed my perception of the police when I see a police car on our street. In the back of my mind, there's always a little worry of, well, have we gone to the next step?
It's really made the older kids aware, because when they see a policeman on the street, they always call us and,
to make sure we're okay.
They just are really concerned about what's going on.
And there had been a lot going on for us, and I think for me at least, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to forget all of that for the day, and I'm just going to have fun.
I like that one too.
If he did intentionally, by accident, butt dial the police as a way of generating more interest in the show, having heard what they just said about the older kids are worried, and every time they see police, they call us, they make sure we're okay. That makes it even worse that he would go to that level. Again, I have no information that he went to that level, that was ever intentional. I just don't understand how you butt dial the police. But again, if you've ever done that by accident, please help me understand this and help me understand how this happens. When you didn't call the police recently, like, how does that even happen? I don't get it. One thing I want to mention is that thankfully they don't ask the children about the police investigation. And I appreciate that because these are kids. They didn't choose this lifestyle. And I don't think it would be okay for producers to ask them questions about the investigation and what they're thinking about that. And they don't talk about it here on this episode. I will keep an eye out to see if they talk about it later on. I know they're aware of it, but I would guess that the parents probably have told the producers they can't ask those types of questions. At least I hope they did, to try to protect their kids a little bit, even though that's the juicy nugget that I think a lot of people are interested in, is the legal ramifications for their lifestyle choices and coming out.
Brianna, I remember, and Aurora were like so proud of her pumpkin.
I carved my pumpkin by myself. Me too. Look at my pumpkin, guys. Wow.
I thought all the pumpkins were really creative. I was impressed, absolutely.
I don't know if I quite comprehended how many pumpkins that would be. It was what?
19, 20,
This one's got to go somewhere.
24. 24? There's only 21 people in our family.
This seems like a lot of waste, though, and they're carving extra pumpkins. Ay vey. But at least they use them for a good reason later on.
I'm just curling my hair for Halloween because it's unique. And since the wives are going to be the 4 elements, I guess I'm going to be the sun.
Looks like somebody changed his mind about being Sammy Hagar. How surprising. You're choosing something that everything else rotates around. How shocking, based on who you've been this whole time, that you would choose to be the center.
You want what?
I have no idea. It's just, you know what? It's something to do, and any idea I come up with gets shot down. So I'm just doing my hair in curls.
I thought you had the idea of being man, because man is powerless against the elements, and that made us all like, oh, that's so sweet. Isn't that what you were gonna do?
Yes, I would love to do that. That's so wonderful. Me, the powerless man in this wonderful family.
I mean, you married the guy. I don't know what to tell you, Christine. Yikes. And honestly, her hard eye roll is the best thing on this episode. Again, it goes back to this power thing. And they joke about it, but I really do think because Kody feels so insecure that he really hyper-focuses on being in charge and being quote-unquote the leader, even though Logan seems like more of the dad than Kody.
We are trying to block the flow of traffic to my door with the pumpkins so that people go to that door. Multiple doors, yeah. It just happens we've got 2 front doors and people never know what door to go to.
Oh, good. A practical reason for all of that waste. Finally. And they're all lit and they all look beautiful. And what a great way to solve the issue of having 2 front doors on a house.
I think it's confusing. I would be confused if I walked up to a house and I'd be like, they both sort of look like front doors.
That would be very confusing. I guess this is just one of the drawbacks of polygamy. Not knowing which is the front door and having to share your husband.
I wore sweatshirt, gloves, pants, and shoes.
Poor Truly looks terrified. She looks like she's on the verge and about to cry. Let's maybe have a kid that's not wearing a mask holder. Or one of her parents.
I'm Dad's little twin. I'm seriously Dad's twin. And we're both in a happy family.
Okay, recap. I'm Dad's little twin, and we're both in a happy family. And earlier, she had her hair done in like knots in the same way that Kody had. It's pretty common for children to idolize their dad, especially little girls.
I'm a vampire. He's mafia. I'm an angel. Brianna, you was a good angel.
I love it.
What you see is actually kind of how most of our holidays are, where we check out from everything else that's going on and we fully engage with the family.
It was fun to sit there and kind of get creative and get kind of, I don't know, get in each other's personal space a little bit.
I'm sorry. You're so smart.
Will you go back on your bed? Okay, we need stop you guys. You're gonna paint my face, right?
Yeah.
I didn't paint anybody's face. I just got painted and I felt like a rock star clown.
You looked a little bit like a clown.
In most of the scenes where I'm seeing Kody, he's not actively engaged in the family. He's either getting things done for him or taking attention away, like Janelle was turned to him. All of the wives are helping him with his hair. We didn't see him paint anybody's face. We didn't see him help anyone get their costumes together. We didn't see him helping with the actual carving and tending to all of that. He is not just another kid. He's like a attention suck from everybody else.
Man.
Aw, she stopped crying though. She let you hold her. Poor Dayton.
As the family has started to gel, we're picking up this energy. It just feels like there's a lot of energy about doing things together.
No, I thought what we did was very simple, is easy, and it was very embarrassing to have that makeup on my face. My hair is always strange too, so what was I worried about? It just got worse than it was normally.
Kody looks like something from Kiss.
There's actually a fifth wife in our family. It's Kody's hair.
Do you think Kody could say what any of his children were for Halloween? I kind of bet he would not be able to come up with very many costumes. I think he is completely checked out. Everything's about him, his makeup, his hair, people doting on him. He is the sun.
Robin was the water. No, my mom was water. No, my mom was water. Yours was air.
My mom, Christine, was water.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah, she was. She was water. Oh, no, okay. My mom, Christine, was air. Robin was air. Oh my gosh. I'm so confused now.
Smile, everyone.
Hold on. Who are you?
Air.
Who are you?
Fire.
Who are you? Earth. Who are you?
What?
And I'm the sun.
The sun can function without the elements, and the elements can function without the sun.
They wouldn't be there without the sun.
That was really cheesy.
That was so corny.
And yet the least active member in this group is Kody. He's the one who's just kind of like doing his own thing. He gets taken care of, or he's just like standing there. He doesn't do a lot. Sometimes he yells that the kids need to get in the car so they can go somewhere. That's like the range of what I've seen him actually do.
It's just about getting the candy, man, and getting the costume. And it doesn't have to be perfect because nobody rejects you because your costume's stupid. They all give you candy.
Still give you candy.
What did I say? Let's go. Trick or treat! It was very fun. It was very fun to go trick-or-treating with a lot more brothers and sisters.
It does look like they had a ton of fun, but you could also go trick-or-treating with your friends or your neighbors. That can also be really fun. And no one's sharing husbands or having like 20 children to take care of or parentifying the older ones to take care of the younger ones. So there's alternatives. If you want to go trick-or-treating in a large group, you don't have to become a polygamist. That is my service announcement.
Thank you.
I'm just here receiving trick-or-treaters, and the girls are going with the other kids.
Trick-or-treat.
Yeah, who are you? Zombie boy, get in here.
We're going back. We're going back now.
I want to see. Let me check out what you got. I'm looking for something chewy, not chocolate.
Well, sorry. Happy there.
Trick-or-treat!
I am not surprised. He's going to his kids and asking for candy. He really is the sun.
We get so much candy.
Was that awesome Halloween?
Yeah!
I think it's been a special experience having the kids come into the family and feel like they fit.
I want pieces of goo.
because now we're a family. And so it's like, I don't really want to talk about how well Robin's kids are meshing with everybody else, because I'm kind of like,
it's done. There's no question anymore.
I understand them not wanting to continually answer this question about the kids integrating, but I think it's a pretty normal question, and they've only been in the family for 5 months. And even though it seems like they're all integrating really well, unfortunately, what ended up happening between the parents trickles down to the children. Once the kids see that Robin's children are getting treated better and differently, and Kody is spending more of his very precious time with them, you can't expect anything other than there to be conflict between the kids. Some people have mentioned that Mariah ended up getting a lot more things, food, stuff like that, because there was only one of her, but maybe they split the money similarly, even though Janelle had 6 kids. Christine, I think at the time, had 5. And again, this is all speculation because they don't really go into the nitty-gritty of how they figure out their budget and what's happening. So maybe Mary didn't actually end up getting more money. Janelle's kids did play sports, and that's not free and that's not cheap. So it's hard to know exactly what they ended up doing with their finances because they don't really divulge everything. What they do say is, we make it work. We figure it out. Well, can you be more specific? Because I'm trying to recap a show here. And now we are going to hear Robin seemingly organically coming up with her tagline that she ends up changing on episode 10.
Should have all been together from day one. I couldn't have picked a better family.
I like actually what she says here. I think it's really cute, but it feels heartfelt in this interview. And she also adds on to it, I couldn't have picked a better family. And I think if they allowed all of that to be in there, I think it would have been better. And also if she could have delivered it as if she meant it, like she did in this interview.
1, 2, 3.
Happy Halloween! Julie was scared.
All right. Bedtime.
No!
I think she's pretty comfortable in her new family, huh? Jeez, it's been 5 months, kid. That's it for this week, you guys. If you enjoyed the video, please like it. If you have not subscribed already, please subscribe now. It makes a huge difference on my end. Doesn't cost you a thing. Until next time, have a wonderful week.